वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। गुरवे सर्वलोकानां சொல்லிட்டேனே அதான் அந்த பயம் இருக்கட்டும். அப்பெல்லாம் வந்து சொல்லக்கூடாது. நமஹ ஈஸ்வரோ குருராத்மேதி மூர்த்தி பேத விபாகினே व्योमवद् व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयम् नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। साक्षात्कृतं दयानन्दं परमार्थस्वरूपिणं तत्त्वज्ञानप्रशास्तारं प्रणतोऽस्मि परं पदम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तमा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ॐ नमो भगवते वैवस्वताय मृत्यवे ब्रह्मविद्याचार्याय नचिकेतसे च You can repeat. पराञ्चिकानि वितृणत् स्वयंभूः
पराञ्चिकानि व्यतृणः स्वयंभूः
तस्मात् परां पश्यति नान्तरात्मन्
तस्मात् परां पश्यति नान्तरात्मन्
कश्चिद्धीरः प्रत्यगात्मानमैक्षत
कश्चिद्धीरः प्रत्यगात्मानमैक्षत
आवृत्तचक्षुरमृतत्वमिच्छन्
आवृत्तचक्षुरमृतत्वमिच्छन्
पराचकामाननुयन्ति बालाः
पराचकामाननुयन्ति बालाः
ते मृत्योर्यन्ति विततस्य पाशम्
ते मृत्योर्यन्ति विततस्य पाशम्
अथ धीरा अमृतत्वं विदित्वा
अमृतत्वं विदित्वा
ध्रुवमध्रुवेष्विह न प्रार्थयन्ते
ध्रुवमध्रुवेष्विह न प्रार्थयन्ते
येन रूपं रसं गन्धम्
येन रूपं रसं गन्धम्
शब्दान् स्पर्शागुश्च मैथुनान्
शब्दान् स्पर्शागुश्च मैथुनान्
एतेनैव विजानाति किमत्र परिशिष्यते एतद्वैतत् I think this mantra we have not completed the bhashyam.
Yeah, we are halfway here.
Okay. Yena vijnana svabhavena atmana Rupam rasam gandham shabdan sparshanscha
Rupam rasam
Rupam rasam
gandham
gandham
shaddan
shabdam
spashanscha
sparshanscha
maitunan
maithunan
maitunan
maituna nimittan
maithuna
maituna
nimittan
nimittan
sukha pratyayan vijanati
sukhaprattyayan
sukhapratyyan
vijanati
vijanati
vispashtam janati sarvaha lokaha.
vispashtam
vispashtam
janati
janati
sarvah
sarvah
lokah.
lokah.
You have seen this line, just to explain the meaning, simple meaning. Yena vijnana svabhena atmana, atma, which is Uswarupa, Swabhava is vijnana, the knowledge, the consciousness, chaitanyam, yena, by which, rupam, rasam, gandham, shaddan, sparshan, maituna, shabda, sparsha, rupa, rasa, gandha, referring to all the sense objects and the pleasure born out of the contact of the indriyas with the sense objects. Maithunan, Maithrunavittan, Sukha Pratyayan, Vijanati. Sukha Pratyayan, Vijanati. Pratyaya is Anubhava. Sukha Pratyayan, Anubhava, Vijanati, Vispashtam Janati. Very clearly. Janati, Anubhavati, Sarvaha Lokaha, all the people. Then the Purvapakshi, Akshepa, Nanu Naivam,
Nanu
Nanu
naivam
naivam
Prasiddhihi Lokasya,
prasiddhihi
prasiddhihi
lokasya
lokasya
Atmana Dehari Vilakshyanena Aham Vijanami Iti.
atmana
atmana
dehadi
dehadi
vilakshana
vilakshणेन
vilakshana
aham
vijanamiti
vijanamiti
Deghadi Sangatah Agam Vijanami Iti.
degadi
dehadi
sanghata
sangatah aham
aham
vijanami
vijanamiti
iti
Sarvaha Lokaha Avagachati.
tu sarvaha
sarvaha
lokaha
lokaha
avagacchati.
avagacchati.
So Purvapakshi says, Nanu, Prasiddhihi Lokasya. What is Prasiddha in the Loka? Atmana Dehadi Vilakshanena Agam Janami Iti Na Prasiddhihi. Nobody knows in the Loka that I am different from the body. This is not Prasiddhi Vishaya. So, Deghadi Sangataha Agam Vijanami. Who is Deghadi Sangata? I know. This is what the Prasiddhi Vishaya Lokaha Avagachati. Nobody knows. It is not a popular knowledge among the people that I, the Atma, distinct from the body through which only the experience of the Loka are gained. This knowledge is not there. It is not common. Having a self-identity with this Sharira Indriya Sangata, they say they know. They have identification, self-identification with this Sharira Sangata, and whatever gain the Anubhava, they say they know that I is identified with this Sharira Sangata. There is nothing apart from this Sharira Sangata. So, therefore, Yena Vijanati, Yena Atmana Sabha Vijanati, that is not a Prasiddhi Vishaya. So, nobody knows Atma distinctly. It is identified thickly, densely identified with Sharira Sangata. And they say Agam Vijanami. When they say Agam Vijanami, this Agam is with Sharira Sangata. Deghadi Sangata. Deghadi Sangata Agam Vijanami. I who am this body, mind, sense, knows. Sarva Lokaha Avagachati. So everyone as this knowledge only, Sarvaha Lokaha Avagachati iti. Everyone understands or considers or thinks or knows themselves to be this Deghadi Sangata. Now, Vashyakara gives Samadhanam. Natu evam
Natu
natu
evam
evam
Deghadi Sangatasyapi
dehadi
dehadi
sanghatasyapi
sangatasyapi
Shabdadi Swarupatva Avisheshat
shabdadi
shabdadi swarupatva
swarupatva
avisheshat
visheshat
Vigneyatva Avisheshat
Avigneyatva Avisheshat.
Not avigneya. Vigneyatva avisheshacha. Avigneyatva avisheshat, the meaning will become change. Swarupat Shabdadi Swarupatva Avishesha Vigneyatva Avisheshacha. Okay.
Yeah.
Not avigneya.
Oh.
Na yuktam vignyatrutvam.
Na yuktam
Vignyatrutvam.
It's avigneya, then becomes a problem. So Vashikara says, no, not so, not like this. Tegadi sangatasyapi. Tegadi sangatasyapi. Na yuktam vignyatrutvam. Body, mind, sense, this assemblage doesn't have the vignyatrutvam. Why? Because it is not different from any object. Shabdadi, Shabda Sparsha Rupa Rasa, referring to the sense object. Swarupatva Avisheshat. Avishesha means different. Avishesha is similar. So, because of the similarity with any perceivable external object. Degadi also it's external only, perceivable, available for your perception, recognition. Therefore, there is no non-difference. It means similarity. Avisheshat. Swarupatva Avisheshat, number one, Hetu. Second, Hetu is Vigneyatva Avisheshat. It is knowable. Body is known to you like any other external object. It is knowable. If you say avigneya, then it becomes a problem. It is knowable. It means you are one without a body. That is not, body is known to you. As like you know a tree, you know a plant, you know a flower. Similarly, body is also vigneyatva vishaya avisheshat, non-different. Non-different from any vigneyatva vishaya. Means body is also available as an object for your knowledge, available for objectification. It is knowable, an object of knowledge, like any other thing, a pot. It is a drishya vastu. It's a drishya thing. Body is drishyam. Lochanam drik. Lochanam is drishyam. Manaha drik. Manaha drishyam. Sakshi drik. And sakshi drishyam for what? Nothing. We have to stop there. We cannot keep on going. We have to stop. Sakshi is alupta drik. Alupta drik is saksham. Sakshi cannot have a drik. Sakshi cannot become drishya. Okay. Therefore, this body means sense, Degadi Sangata is drishya. Therefore, it cannot be the knower. Vignyatrutvam, not possible for this body. If it has Vignyatrutvam, then what will happen? Then every object will have Vignyatrutvam. Then every object will interact with each other. All the external objects, whatever you see, a tree, a mountain can interact with another mountain. A rock can interact with another rock because it has got Vignyatrutvam. So, therefore, it is not. What will happen, suppose if it is there? That Bhashikara says. Yadihi Deghadi Sangataha Swarupadhyatmakaha San. Rupadi, not Surupa, Rupadi Atmakaha San. Then Rupadi Vijaniyad. Rupa Bhagya Api. Rupadayaha. Anyonyam swam swam rupam cha vijaniyuhu. This line also we have seen.
Yeah.
If Degadi Sangata, which is Rupadi Atmakaha San, Shabda Sparsha Rupa, the body is made up of that, all if Panchabhuta, Shabda Sparsha Rupa Rasa Gandha. So, if it can know itself, it means if the body can know Rupadi Vijaniyat, Shabda Sparsha Rupa Rasa Gandha, then what will happen? The same things applicable for the Bhagya Vastu also, external objects. They also have got forms, they also Rupa, Rasa, Gandha, everything. So they must be knowing, each one may be knowing their Swam Rupam, and therefore they can have interaction with each other. Samsam Rupam cha Vijanihu. They must be knowing that's Rupam, and therefore they must all love Kartrutvam. But that is not there. So, that is not there. A mountain doesn't know that it is a mountain. Swamrupam Vijanihu, not possible. Nacha etat asti.
Nacha etat asti.
Etat asti.
This is not there. Such thing is not there. We don't see. Kartrutvam is there. When Kartrutvam is there, free will be there. Kartum Shakyam, Akartum Shakyam, all these things problem will come. So a mountain can decide not to be visible to you. A flower can decide not to be plucked by you. All these things possible. So therefore, Vijñātratvam nasti. Therefore, tasmat.
Tasmat.
Deghadi lakshananscha.
Dehadi lakshanānscha.
Rupadīn. Etena eva. Deghadi vyatiriktena eva. Vijñāna svāvena. Vijanati lokaha.
Atmana vijanati
lokaha. So therefore, what we have to say is, acceptable thing is, because of Atma only it is Vijanati. Degadi Lakshanan Rupadin. Degadi also it is an object. So this Degadi Lakshanan Rupadin, the Degadi which is as the Lakshana, Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, etc. This Rupa this can be known, which is different from this. Deghadi Lakshanan Rupadin, Deghadi Vyatiriktena Vijnana Svabhena Atmana Eva Vijanati Lokaha. Lokaha, people know. Deghadi Vyatiriktena Atmana Eva. Different from this body, mind, sense complex. That is Atma. And that Atma is Vijnana Subhava, whose Swarupa, the nature is Vijnana, the knowledge, the consciousness. So that must be different from Deghadi. So people, they know Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. These are characterized by this Deghadi Lakshana. And this known only through that which is different from Deghadi Lakshana and whose nature is Chaitanya. So therefore, knowing a thing is possible, knowing a thing is possible only when it has got the knowledge, the consciousness, Chaitanya. So body doesn't have its Swarupa as Chaitanya. So this body, mind, sense, this Deghadi, Lakshanan, Rupadin, Deghadi, Lakshanan, Rupadin are known to the world, are known to the people of the world only through Atma, and that Atma must be different from this Deghadi iti, the Bhashyakara says. So it must be different. Deghadi Vyatiriktena eva lokaha vijanati. Being different from this body, mind, sense complex, the people, the person who is characterized by this body, mind, sense complex knows its Swarupa is not the body, mind, senses. Its Swarupa is different from that. Through that alone is knowing is possible. The Bhashyakara says. And Bhashyakara gives an example for that. Yatha yena lohaha dagati saha agnihi iti tadvat.
Lokaha dagati saha agnihi iti tadvat.
Loha is iron. Loha is iron. Iron. Loha dagati. Yena logaha dagati. Because of which the iron ball dagati burns. What is that? Saha agnihi. That is fire. So fire is that because of which the iron gets the hotness and it can burn the person. So iron as such cannot create any burning sensation. Only when it has contact with the fire, only then it can create burning sensation, it can burn. Similarly, the knowing is not possible for the body. Degadi sangatasya vijñātatvam nasti. What must be there? Degadi vyatirikta atmana eva vijanati. Therefore, body, mind, senses like an iron. And atma is like the fire. Iron cannot burn, body cannot know. Agni, the contact with Agni, iron can burn. Similarly, the Degadi Atma, Degadi Vitirikta Atmana, through the Upadi Degadi, this knowing is possible. Therefore, which has got Jnataratvam? Degadi Sangataha Atma. Atma only alone has got Jnataratvam. In fact, Atma also, from the absolute standpoint, Paramatika Satya, Atma doesn't have Jnataratvam. It is only because of this self-identity with this Degadi, Jnataratvam. Therefore, Kartratvam, Bhoktrutvam, all these things come. Anyway, the knowing is possible only through that which is different from Degadi Sanghata. What is it? The meaning. Then, the next line. I think up to this we saw in the last class. Atmanaha avijñeyam.
Atmanaha avijñeyam.
Kim atra asmil loke parishishyate.
Kim
किम्
atra
अत्र अस्मिन् लोके परिशिष्यते
Na kinchit parishishyate.
na
न
kinchit
किञ्चित्
parishyate.
परिशिष्यते
Avijñeyam vastu. Atmanaha avijñeyam vastu. Asmin loke. Kim. What is that? Kim parishishyate. What is there in the world which is not known or unknowable? Avijñeyam to Atma. That is nothing. Question is asked to dismiss the base of the question. Nothing remains. Nothing is in the world which is not known. Anything in the world can be classified into two things. One is jnatam, other one jnata vishayam, ajnata vishayam. Jnata vishayam also known to Atma. Ajnata vishayam also known to Atma. In fact, jnatam, ajnatam both are illumined by Atma. Both are available as knowledge for you only through Atma. There is nothing ajnatam. Everything is jnatam. There is nothing known to Atma. Everything is known to Atma. Even the unknown thing is known only through Atma. Atma's sanidhya. Atma sanidhi. Sanidhi rupena Atma vartate. So in the presence of Atma, even the unknown things are known. So even the unknown things are illumined by the Atma. Therefore nothing which is not known to Atma. Kim atra parishishyate, kimapi na ityartaha. Bhāshyakara further clarifies. Sarvam eva tu
Sarvam eva tu
atmana vijñeyam
atmana
विज्ञेयम्
yasya atmanaha vijñeyam
yasya
आत्मनः
avijñeyam
अविज्ञेयम्
na kinchit parishishyate
na
न
kinchit
किञ्चित्
parishyate.
परिशिष्यते
saha atma sarvajñah.
Saha
सः आत्मा सर्वज्ञः
Atma is called Sarvajna. Sarvam Janati, it is Sarvajna. We need to understand Sarvajna and Sarvavit. I think this is what in the last class we left. Sarvajna and Sarvavit.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, got the connection now. So Sarvajna, Sarvam Janati, it is Sarvajna. Sarvajna of Atma and Sarvajna of Ishvara, there is a difference. Atma is Sarvagya. When we say Sarvam Janati, everything is knowable in the presence of Atma. Atma is all knowing. It illumines everything. Sarvam Janati. Sarvam evatu Atmana Vigyam. Everything is Vigyayam, is knowable only through Atma. Yasya Atmanaha Vigyayam Kinchit Naparishishyate. There is nothing which is not knowable to Atma. Therefore, Atma is Sarvagya. Atma is Sarvagya. So, when we say Atma is Sarvagya, it is Nirguna Chaitanya. So, you're saying Nirguna Chaitanya is the Sarvagyatvam is Sarvagyatvam of Nirguna Chaitanya is talked about. Atma is Sarvagya means the presence of, in the presence of Atma, in the presence of Chaitanyam alone, everything is known. So, Nirvikara Chaitanyam, it by its mere Sanidhyana, it illumines everything. Everything comes to knowledge because of the presence of this Atma, Nirvikara Chaitanyam. Whereas Sarvagyatvam of Ishvara is different. Sarvagyatvam of Ishvara, the all knowledge is of Ishvara is based on Upadhi. Whereas Sarvagyatvam of Atma is without the Upadhi. So there is a difference. When we Shuddha Chaitanya Sarvagyatvam, Ishvara Sarvagyatvam is different. Ishvara is Hiranyagarbha, we saw just now in the Uddaka, Hiranyagarbha, it has got it Upadhi, and Maya Upadhi. So, Hiranyagarbha knows everything. It is all knowledge. It has sum total of all the individual knowledge is the knowledge of Hiranyagarbha. Therefore, it is all knowledge. So, it knows everything in detail. Knowing everything in detail, particular knowledge also. Everything in detail, Bhagavan knows. Then only Bhagavan can be called Sarvagya. Then only Srishti is possible for Bhagavan. If it is not Sarvagya, then how can he do the Srishti? Not possible. And Atma is also called Sarvagya. Ishvara Sarvagya is through Maya Upadhi. And Atma Sarvagyatvam Atma is not because of any Upadhi. Sarvagyatma Atma here it means in the presence of Atma, everything is known, everything comes to knowledge, everything comes to knowing. Atma, like the sun, in the presence of sun, everything is illumined. In the presence of the sun, even the moon is illumined. Moon doesn't have its self-illumination property. Sun illumines the moon. So in the presence of sun, everything is illumined. Like that, in the presence of Atma, known things and unknown things are known. You don't know French. How do you know you don't know French? Because you know that you don't know French. That's why you know it. You don't know French is also known to you. You know Sanskritam, it's also known to you. So, Jnata Vishyam as well as Ajnata Vishyam is known to you. That is the Sarvagyatvam of Atma. Whereas Sarvagyatvam of Ishvara he is the Srishtikarta. He has got the complete total knowledge of the Srishti going to be created. Like we saw in the Kaṭhopaniṣat. If knowledge is there, then only can create. So, he has got all knowledge. He has got Sarvagyatvam. That Sarvagyatvam is based on this Maya Upadhi. Therefore, Sarvagyatvam is possible. And therefore, we have a word for it. We say, in Kaṭhopaniṣat, we give a word, we have a word for it. Sarvavit. To distinguish this, to distinguish between Ishvara and the Jiva, the Atma, we have a word for it. Atma is Sarvagya, Ishvara is Sarvavit. Yes, Sarvagya, Sarvavit, yes, Yajna, Namayan Tapaha. In Kaṭhopaniṣat, the next mantra we are going to see. So, the Sarvagyatvam of Ishvara has got a word, Sarvavit. Sarvam Veti, he knows everything. He knows every individual's karma, and therefore only he gives karma pala. There is no problem in distributing the karma pala to the jivas. innumerable number of jivas are there, from the unicellular being to the Manushya or even Devata, whatever may be, beings are there. Everybody reap their karma pala. There is no network problem. There is no cross connection. You getting my karma pala, I getting somebody's karma pala. There is no such wrong connection, misconnection, wrong shift, transfer of karma pala is not there. The account is very clearly maintained. There is no problem with regard to the networking of Ishvara. It's an excellent network. How is it possible? Unless he is Sarvagya. He knows what a particular jiva has to experience, particular karma pala, in what situation, in what place, everything he knows. Accordingly, he creates a situation. The situation, the srishti, depends on the karma pala of the jiva. Therefore, Ishvara must be Sarvagya. And that srishti in keeping with the karma pala of the total jivas. Therefore, Ishvara must be Sarvagya. That is called Sarvavit. Sarvam Janati Ishvaraha. A jiva cannot become Sarvavit. A jiva as as an individual, a jivatma is Sarvagya. As Atma everything is known to him as known and unknown things. Whereas for Ishvara, there is nothing which is unknown to him because of limited upadhi. So that is the difference between the Sarvagyatvam of Ishvara and the Sarvagyatvam of Nirupadika Chaitanyam. So these are the technical, subtle technical difference between the two words. Then, therefore, Saha Atma Sarvagyaha. Then the next word. Etad Vaitat.
Etad Vaitat.
Vaitat.
This is that. What is this and what is that? This is that. For that, we need to understand certain the technical thing. Have you heard Jagal Lakshana, Ajagal Lakshana, Jagat Ajagal Lakshana? This three types of things are Lakshanas are discussed in any basic Vedantic text, not in Tattva Bodha. In Vedanta Sara, in Vedanta Paribhasha, these are discussed. Jagal Lakshana, Ajagal Lakshana, Jagat Ajagal Lakshana. Let me explain what it is. Jagal Lakshana. See, in Jagal Lakshana, example I will give. There is a hut. There is a hut on the river Ganga. I have a hut on the river Ganga. The sadhus, they say, and Puja Swamiji also had a hut on the Ganga. When you say on the Ganga, I have a kutiya. What does it mean? Is it kutiya is floating on the river Ganga? On the Ganga, you say. The kutiya is floating on the Ganga. Ganga means the river. The water flows. So you cannot have your kutiya on the flowing Ganga. It means on the river Ganga means on the bank of the river Ganga. It is understood. I have a kutiya on the bank of the river Ganga. But we say I have a kutiya on the Ganga. So here what we do, I have a kutiya on the Ganga, when we say, the literal meaning is rejected. The literal meaning of the sentence is dismissed, and therefore the what is implied, the implied meaning is taken. The literal meaning is given up. There cannot be kutiya on the Ganga. The literal meaning is given up, and the implied meaning is on the river Ganga. It means on the bank of the river Ganga. So we have to bring in the word, adopt the word bank. That is the implied meaning. This is called Jagal Lakshana. Jagal Lakshana, the three types of implied meanings. That's called Jagal Lakshana, Ajagal Lakshana, Jagat Ajagal Lakshana. So Jagal Lakshana is where we drop the literal meaning and consider the implied meaning. Jagal Lakshana. Ajagal Lakshana means another example for that. For Ajagal Lakshana. The red is running. Raktaha dhavati. Raktaha dhavati. Raktaha, red is running. What is the red? What does it mean, red? The red must be an object because red is a color. Color alone cannot run. Therefore, the color must be associated with an object, and that object is referred to by the word red. Therefore, red running. It could be a red horse or red vehicle, red car. It could be anything. So, red is running. Or the person painted red, also possible running. So, anything. So, here what happens? Red is running. Yes, red is running. The person is red. We don't give up. The thing is red. We don't give up the literal meaning of the word. We don't give up the literal. We say red horse is running. We retain the word red and we also add horse. Red horse is running. So without giving the literal meaning of the Vakya, we bring in another word to understand the Vakya. Red horse is running. This is called Ajagal Lakshana. In Ajagal Lakshana, we don't give up the literal meaning of the Vakya. In Jagal Lakshana, we give up the literal meaning of the Vakya. And the implied meaning is understood. Here, without giving up the literal meaning, the what is implied is understood. Ajagal Lakshana. Then Jagat Ajagal Lakshana. This is the third type of the implied meaning. What is that? You are that Devadatta. You are that Devadatta. I know you as a person, Devadatta. I saw you when you were 10 years old. Now you are 40 years. After 30 years, I am seeing you. So, you are that Devadatta. It means you, the person standing here now, right in front, at present, and Devadatta, the person whom I have in my mind 30 years before, whom I have saw, connecting. It is connecting. You are that Devadatta. So here what happens is, the literal, you are that Devadatta, it means you are not the same person whom I saw 30 years before. Lot of changes happened. 30 years before, you were 10 years. 10 years old. That time you did not even grow so short. No, but now you have become 40, you become fat, eye mustache, and your probably head also has become bald. Therefore, when you say you are not Devadatta, you are that Devadatta, when you say by Rupa, you are not the same person. The color also would have changed. Everything would have changed. The total feature has changed. Then how can you say you are that Devadatta? But still the person is the same person. That same Devadatta whom I saw 30 years before is the same person who is standing right in front of me now. So here what we do is, here we retain the literal, a part of the literal meaning, another part we discard. What we mean is the Rupa we are not referring to as the same Devadatta. The person is that Devadatta is now this Devadatta. So we are retaining a part of the literal meaning of the Vakya. And the other part is discarded. What is the part discarded? Now the feature, whatever he has, after 40 years, the 40 years person, that feature we discard. But we literally mean the person alone, without the features, external features, what has changed, we discard that. As a person is the same person. But with regard to the features, the bodily features is totally different. That part we discard. As a person is the same person. When you are 10 years, you are Devadatta. Now you are 40 years, you are Devadatta. That person is alone, is taken up. Other things which are not similar, it is discarded. This is called Jagat Ajagal Lakshana. Otherwise called Bhagatyaga Lakshana. Otherwise called Bhagatyaga Lakshana. So even to understand the Mahavakyam, this knowledge is important. Bhagatyaga Lakshana. Tatatvam Asi, when we say you are that, You means you, referring to this person, this individual, that referring to Brahma. How can this individual be Brahma? Brahma is all knowledge. It is Sarva Shaktivan. It is Sarva Vyapi. All the Vibhuti, the glorious, are associated with that Brahma. When I say you means you are a limited person. You are Alpajnaha, Alpashaktiman. And that Brahma has got all the Aishwarya. That's why it's called Bhagavan. All the Bhagas are there. I don't have even a single Bhaga. Then how can I be equal to that? It means you have to drop the Upadhi. Dropping the Upadhi, essentially the Jiva and the Brahma are same. That is the implied meaning of the Vakya Tatu Tum Asi. So Bhagatyaga Lakshana. Bhagatyaga means part of it to be discarded and the other part to be accepted. That Lakshana is called Jagat Ajagal Lakshana, otherwise called Bhagatyaga Lakshana. So here also, Etad Vaitat, when we say, Etat Atma is a Tatu. And the word Tatu, Tattum Masi, the Mahavakya Tatu word is referring to that. Etat referring to this, that which is closer to you. In fact, it is not closer, it is you. Etat, it is the pronoun. Etat referring to that which is very close. Tat refers to that which is remote. I mean, remote means you are referring to the whole Jagat as Tat, available for your objectification. And this Etat, which is you, not available for objectification, that Etat. And Tatu referring to the Jagat, and Jagat Karanam Brahma, that is also not available for objectification. But through the Srishti, we infer the Srishtikarta Brahma. So this Etat and Tat, they are same. How can they be same? You have to drop the Upadhi. You have to drop the dissimilar features. These Mithya features. These Anatma features you have to drop. Then what is the essence of this individual and the total? It is Chaitanyam, it is Atma. Therefore, Etad Vaitat Mahavakya. Etat Eva Tat. This alone is that. So, therefore, Etad Vaitat. This means this Atma is Vaitat, indeed that. That is Brahma. That is what Nachiketa asked. Nachiketa, what did he ask? Yayam prete vichikitsa manushye astityeke nayamastiti chaike etad vidyam anushishtastvayaham varanam esha varastratiyaha. Nice way of asking what is that? Brahma. Atma Tattvam. For that, now Yamadharmaraja gives the answer. Etad Vaitat, you asked. So this is that. Then Bhashyakara says, Kim Tat?
Kim tat?
Yat Nachiketasa Prishtam.
Yat Nachiketasa Prishtam.
Devadibihi api vichikitsitam.
Devadibihi api vichikitsitam.
Dharmadibhyaha anyat.
Dharmadibhyaha anyat.
Vishnoho paramam padam.
Vishnoho paramam padam.
Yasmat param nasti tat tadva.
Yasmat
Nasti
param
tadva.
Etat adigatam ityartaha.
Etat adigatam ityartaha.
Not tadva, tat vai. Because etadvai. Tadva, it is sandhi. Etat nasti tat vai. Etat adigatam ityartaha. You know what sandhi is. Ayadi sandhi akara is dropped. Tadva. So when you stop that, we can say tadvai. Vai is also okay, nothing wrong. I'm just saying sandhi is that etat vai. It is vai indeed. Now, Bhashyakara says, Yat Nachiketasa Prishtam. Nachiketasa Prishtam in the first chapter, first section, 20th shloka, mantra, Yayam Prete Vichikitsa Manushye. So that which was asked by Nachiketa. And to that, Yamadharmaraja replied. What did he say? Devairatrapi Vichikitsitam Pura, Nagis Suvigneya Manuresha Dharmaha, Anyam Varam Nachiketo Vrinishva, Mamo Parochi Ratima Sujainam iti. Yamadharmaraja tried to convince Nachiketa to ask for another boon. Devadibihi api vichikitsitam. About this Vishaya knowledge, even the Devas have got doubt. Devas also have got doubt with regard to this. That is that which was asked of Nachiketa. Dharma adibhyaha anyat. Dharma adharmadibhyaha. Dharma adharmadibhyaha anyat. What is dharma adharmadibhyaha anyat? That is also the the question asked by Nachiketa again the second time. Anyatra dharmad anyatra dharmad anyatra smat krita kritat anyatra bhuta cha bhavya cha yattat pashyasi tadvada. When Yamadharmaraja tried to convince Nachiketa, Nachiketa still has the same boon only. Again in the second section, first chapter, second section, 14th, the mantra. The Bhashyakara quotes, literally uses the words of the mantra of the same Upanishad. Dharmadibhyaha anyat. That Atma which is different, which is not limited. Dharma, adharma, krita, akrita. Anyat, different from that. Yat tvaya prishtam, Nachiketasa prishtam. And tat Vishnoho paramam padam. Tat Vishnoho paramam padam. Again this Vishnoho paramam padam also. We saw the mantra, first chapter, third section. First chapter, third section, ninth mantra. Vishnoho paramam padam. Vishnoho paramam padam. That in the context of this chariot imagery, there we saw Vijnana Saratir Yastu Manav Pragraha Naraha Sodvana Paramapnoti Tad Vishnu Paramam Padam. Paramam Padam, Vishnu Padam. Here Vishnu Padam is not the Upasya Murti Vishnu Padam. Vishnu referring to that ultimate Padam. Padam means not physical abode. Padyate Nyayate iti Padam. Padyate Nyayate. Brahma is the Vishaya, it's a Param, it is to be known. So that Paramam Padam, which is Vishnu Padam, Brahma Padam, that is what Nachiketa asked. Yasmat Param Nasti. It is the ultimate Padam, the Jnanam, gaining which there is nothing else to be known. That Padam, there is nothing else is there. Param Nasti. Tat etat. Tat vai etat. This is what this is what this iti. Iti Yamadharmaraja says, Tat etat adigatam, to be known. Tat etat adigatam. That very Atma alone is meant by the word Tat, and that Atma alone, etat vai, is the one which has been adigatam, learned in this all this mantra as that as the Chaitanyam, the Chaitanyam which is there in every experience. In every experience, that Chaitanyam is. In the presence of that Chaitanyam, that Nirvikara, Avikara Chaitanyam only, all these things are known. Everything is known. Therefore, etat vaidat. It is this Vakya is Jiva Brahma Aikya Upadesha Vakya. Tat referring to the Tatpadam, Brahma. Etat refers to Tvam Pada Lakshyartha. Tvam Pada Lakshyartha and Tat Pada Lakshyartha. That is, what is the Lakshyartha of Tvam and Tat? Brahma Chaitanyam. That Atma is that because of which everything is shines. That is the ultimate Padam, knowing which there is nothing else to be known. Yasmat Param Nasti, there is nothing other than that. Iti Bhashyakara says. Then the next extra line. So with this, the Bhashya to this mantra is completed. Now the Sangati to the next mantra. Atisukshmatvat
Atisukshmatvad
Durvigneyam iti matva
Durvigneyam iti matva
Etam eva artam punaha punaha aha.
Etameva punaha punaha aha.
Again and again, repeatedly. Punaha punaha aha. The Upanishad, the Yamadharmaraja, the Acharya, he says. Why? Because Ati Sukshmatvat. Sukshma Vishaya. Brahma is Sukshma Vishaya. It is not an object. It is a subject in the person. It can be called even as a subject. Only when there is object, you can call it a subject. But we can call it a subject from the standpoint of the empirical reality. So the subject which objectifies objects, it cannot be objectified. Therefore, it is Sukshma Vishaya. So being very Sukshma Vishaya, Sukshma Tattvam, Atma Tattvam, therefore it is Durvigneyam, difficult to understand. So Ati Sukshmatvat Durvigneyam iti Matva, having considered this difficult to understand, this Atma which is Sukshma, therefore only the Upanishad again and again it says. Therefore, this is Punarukti is not a dosha. Upanishad repeating the ideas again and again, it is not a dosha. It is only to make the student understand. So the concern of the Upanishad is the understanding of the student. Therefore, only the Upanishad as well as the Acharya repeat the same thing. So repetition is not for time pass. Repetition is is to make the understanding very clear. And that too in Vedanta, punaha shravanam kuryat. Again and again we need to listen to it, because we have the problem of this habitual errors, even in spite of learning, in spite of listening for a number of hours. But our swabhava, our natural behavior, habitual things, certain things, it will not change immediately. It will take time to change. Therefore, we have to hammer this idea again and again in the mind. Therefore, Upanishad also says the same thing again and again. That is what the next mantra is going to do. Next mantra we will read. Swapnantam jagaritantam
Swapnantam
Jagaritantam
Shobho yena nupashyati
Shobho
yena nupashyati
Mahantam vibhumatmanam
Mahantam
Vibhumatmanam
Matvadhiro na shochati.
Madhvadhiro na shochati.
The meaning of this mantra we will see. We will see in the next class, and we will meet after Navaratri. Okay, so my wishes to you for this Navaratri. Happy Navaratri. We will meet after Navaratri. Vijayadashmi day, maybe we can have a short class. We can meet on Vijayadashmi.
Okay.
Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. This Jagal Lakshana, I think would have heard somewhere, right? Before in Vedanta Paribhasha.
Yeah.
So it's all, it's only repetition. It only makes the understanding more clear. You don't forget those terms. Otherwise, what is Jagal Lakshana? And it is in Vedanta Sara. Vedanta Sara is a very good text. It is beautifully explains the topic. It's a very systematically, like Tattva-bodha. It's an extended version. If you stretch Tattva-bodha, it becomes Vedanta Sara. So I thought of doing Vedanta Sara also on every Thursday. Instead of Mundaka Upanishad, only one class a month. Let us see if it works. We can do with some Tika. Vedanta Sara has got Tika. And Panchadashi also. Let us see how it works after Vijayadashmi. We will see.
ಓಕೆ.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ. ಧನ್ಯವಾದ.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ.